Ni hao, sawadika, mabuhay. Welcome to the city of Santa Rosa, Laguna, the 30th Southeast Asian Games 2019. And for our 7th match between Singapore versus Thailand. Calling on the 7 players on court of Team Singapore. Let's begin with the goal shooter, Lee Pei-Shan. Goal attack and the captain, Charmaine Sok. Wing attack, Carmen Go. The center, Vanessa Lee. Wing defense, Aquila Andin. Goal defense, Melody Teo. And goalkeeper, Sindhu Nair. And coming from the bench, To Kai Wei, Tan Xin Yi, Guok Shu Yi, Angelina Lim, and Jamie Lee. And the head coach, Natalie Melisic. Assistant coaches, Yu Mi Wong and Wang Jin. Manager, Cassandra An. And the physiotherapist, Megan Lee. And now for the second team, Team Thailand. Let's begin with goal shooter, Thailand, Tiwashor. Goal attack, Sirima Samari. Wing attack, Daramon Pancha. The center, Panita Rikiro. Wing defense is the captain, Pawina Kamwan. Goal defense, Bulwina Tongma. And a goalkeeper, Kyoke Panchadura. And coming from the bench, Kanita Kawonga. Wanpansa Jitanachai. Nikcha Yensupang. Rumnapa Sitongbon and Diana Santa. The head coach, Lily Singh. Assistant coach, Nakasawan Charoy Pinan. The manager, Amon Pongsupan. Physiotherapist, Korma Jantarusi, and Napa Iwatua. And our umpires for this match, Annie Zetara Wonder. Reserve umpire, 1 time. All right, let's play netball. Good luck to both teams.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're live from the Santa Rosa Sports Complex here at the 30th Southeast Asian Games. This is day number 4 of the netball competition. The first match of the day is between Singapore and Thailand. It will be an interesting one for sure. Singapore, silver medalists from 2017. Thailand, bronze medalists from the 2017 SEA Games. Both teams just broke out of their huddles and made their way into the positions on court. Here are the umpires, Tara Warner and Ann Hay. Here's Ann Hay just passing the ball off to Vanessa Lee, the center, very shortly. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Melody Teo, long ball to Charmaine So. Early infringement there by the Thais. Easy over the head pass to Pei Shan. And an easy shot for her. She's been good so far in this competition, Pei Shan. We'll see how she performs today against the Thais. Thailand has been performing well so far in this competition. Their first match against Malaysia rather, wasn't a good start for them, but they've gained confidence in the past 2 days against Brunei and Philippines. Very dominant performances from the Thais in the past 2 days. Speaking of the journey here so far, Singapore has had a pretty good competition so far. Against the Philippines, Singapore won it. The score was 20-80 on day one. They had a rest on the second day, and yesterday came back to beat Brunei. The score was 62-38. There's a screen there from Team Singapore between by Pei Shan for Charmaine. So that is something that we will see between Pei Shan and Charmaine very often. So just keep a lookout for that. It's very smart play by Team Singapore. It was a Thai center pass, but here is the turnover. Singapore had a poor start yesterday against Brunei. In the opening minutes of the game, Singapore were down 3-0 and really struggled in the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter yesterday, Brunei were in the lead 9-8. Eventually, Singapore gained a momentum and really swept that game home. Here comes the Thais. This is a combination that Thailand has played throughout the competition, been very consistent with this combination. It's something that they're very familiar with. Here's Sirima. Easy shot for her. It's neck and neck so far. It's 2-all. Both teams having their fair share of unforced errors. That time through common goal, the ball just slipping through her hands. And here comes the Thais. Singapore have very good defensive structure. They often opt for a zone defense or a box defense coming into the attacking goal third of their opponents. And they really pile on the pressure for their opponents. Here's Pat Lakanathan putting in goal number 3 for Thailand. She is a player to look out for, a key player for the Thai team. Really a stature of consistency for the Thais. Here we see the zone defense from Singapore. Really stagnant there from the Thais. Panita just really had no other choice but to throw the long bomb to Pat Lakanathan, and really that's what Team Singapore are looking to do, really forcing that long high pass. Here is again no option. She looks left and right, chooses eventually to go to Pat Lakanathan. That is what Singapore will try to do, because once the ball gets into Pat Lakanathan, it is very hard to deny the shot. Here comes the Thais to the counter-attack. Good patience there by Sirima. Just drew a fake, drew Akila off the ball. What a performance there by the Thais. I'm telling you, once the ball is in this woman's hands and she gets the ball right on the goalpost, there's almost nothing you can do to stop the shot from going in. The Thais are in the lead. Score is 5-2. Akila, just with the defensive effort there, just got her hand to it, tipped the ball off. Here she is again with another defensive effort. The Thais are being so smart so far in this game. They really are using their fix very well, just getting the Singaporean defense to just move slightly off position, and all they needed to do really was to just pop the ball right in position. Contact call there against Kia Ket. Charmaine So with an easy near range shot. Again, in the first quarter, Singapore find themselves down. It is a 3-goal difference here. Beautiful placement there to Pat Lakanathan. She is the tallest player in the circle. And just look at that. She is at least a whole head taller than both Sindhu and Melody Teo. Here's Singapore, no options for Akila, choosing to go back. Eventually Carmen comes out with a drive. Again. Oh, I thought that pass was a bit overcooked, but Pei Shan did well there to keep the ball in play. She makes it 4 goals for Singapore. The Singapore bench really urging the teammates to get one back. That was just a replay there of Pei Shan's shot. Here's Singapore's chance. To creep one back. Look at this Thai defense. It is so hard to penetrate through that defense, and really that's what you need to do to break that kind of defense, is to just drive through and drive to the ball. But right now all the Singaporean players are behind the defenders, and that is where the errors are coming from for Singapore. Kiao Kat does that very often. We've seen her through the competition. She goes out and she hunts for the ball just like that, leaving her shooter behind. It is a risk that she is willing to take, and the midfielders will really need to be very wary of that. We're more than halfway through in this first quarter. Score is 5-8. Contact call against Akila. Here's Sirima with a mid-range shot. Just bounces around the rim. Mad scramble there for possession of the ball. Eventually it's Sindhu that retrieves it. And here Singapore goes with a counter-attack. This is much better play by Singapore. Contact call there by Panita, just being put out of play. Good split between the shooters, Charmaine and Pei Shan. Eventually a contact call goes against Bunwila, and Charmaine so sinks in the penalty shot. She just looks at the clock, looks at the score. They need this one, Singapore. Pei Shan with a mid-range shot. Charmaine So to take the penalty. Very reliable, Charmaine So. She is the only player remaining from the 2015 gold medal winning team. Most of this team, this is their first SEA Games for Team Singapore, most of the players. Good little pass there by Panita. Sirima, they're just trying. She knows that she's running out of space. She just tried to dish the ball off with one hand to Pat Laganathan. That's a beautiful intercept by Sindhu. Just went up strong, got both hands on it, and snatched the ball down. Good intercept by Sindhu. Now can Team Singapore convert this? In desperation, Vanessa Lee just throws a long bomb to Charmaine So. Unforced error by Team Singapore. Charmaine So makes things even 8-all. Much better passage play there by Singapore. That's what we're used to seeing Singapore doing. Very quick, very swift transition in terms of the attacking play. Overcooked that pass, Panita. Panita, the center of Thailand, she really has good vision into the circle to her shooters. Today is just not quite working out. Melody Teo and Sundunai are really sticking very close to the shooters, really denying them any space to catch the ball. And here's Singapore. Much better passage of play. Peishan refuses to shoot. Offensive contact there against Peishan. Here's the Thais being very, very patient. There's long pass to Palaganathan. She was all alone in the circle. She just snuck back to receive the high pass. Here she is, cheering her teammates on. Here's the pass again. Beautiful high release from Panita to Palaganathan. Come and go at the top of the circle, struggling to find an option in the circle. There's a screen again by Peishan from Charmaine. They do that so often and they do it very well. Lots of whistle in this game, lots of contest and contact. Beautiful placement by Sirima to her partner in crime, Palaganathan. Really struggling to bring the ball down here. Singapore ball was stuck just at the transverse line for a good amount of time before Charmaine So just decided to bomb the ball in. Footwork call against Panita. Here's Singapore's chance again. Charmaine So with the mid-range shot. Overcooks it. Ball bounces off the ring. And here goes the Thais. Melody Teo just gathers the scraps of that loose ball. Really struggling here, as you can see, for the Singapore attack to penetrate through the defense. Here's the screen again. Kiao Cat just caught the screen being set up, tries to get her way back to Charmaine So just catches Charmaine on the contact. Crowd here is counting down. Final seconds. Will we get one last shot? Umpire calls for a contact. It will be a penalty shot granted to Palaganathan, and definitely she will finish it from there. What an end, what a start to this match. The quarter ends 11-all, nothing between these two teams so far. We have 3 quarters remaining. Do join us back very shortly for the second quarter. Welcome back to the second quarter of this match between Singapore and Thailand. After the first quarter, nothing separates the two teams. The score is 11-all. Here's Vanessa Lee to kick things off for the second quarter. A couple of changes for both teams. We have Jamie Lim from Singapore coming in at the goalkeeper position, and So Kai Wei coming in at wing attack, sending Carmen Go and Sununaya to the bench. For Thailand, we have Rungnapa Sitongbon on at the center position, replacing Panita Ritirong. Both teams putting on very strong defensive plays. As you can see, really struggling both teams to bring the ball down very often. This is where the error comes from for both teams. They decide to throw that long, far pass, and it is just inaccurate or wrongly placed. And that's where they lose possession. Singapore really dealing with the defensive pressure of Thailand a lot better. This time, Charmaine just hits the back post. Peishan with the rebound, just got pulled up for infringement there. And here comes the Thais, and take a look at this defensive pressure. Every Singaporean player is really applying pressure in one way or another, either on the body or with their hands to pressure the pass. But once the ball is in this lady's hands, Pat Laganathan, it is so hard to prevent a shot. Easy placement for Kai Wei to Peishan. Peishan misses from under the goal post. It's a good rebound from her. Won't miss the rebound shot. Look at this defensive pressure from Singapore. So many players moving at the same time. There are bodies everywhere. You really have to think about where and who we want to place the pass to. And that's really a win for Singapore there. Just forced an error from the Thais. And here's a counter attack. Really being very patient, Singapore. Tries to pop the ball there, Kai Wei, but Kiao Cat was all over there. It was a good tip by her. Held ball against the Thais in the center third, in the goal third rather. Just held on to the ball a little bit too long that time. Peishan won't shoot that long range shot, chooses to pass it off to Kai Wei, eventually finds Charmaine. Charmaine misses again. This is very uncharacteristic from the captain, Charmaine, but she will keep working and she will keep putting those shots up. Here she is. Much better shot from her. She will not give up, Charmaine. That much we know of her. Beautiful feed there to Peishan. Much better shot from her this time around. Singapore and Thailand actually sit on the same goal average in terms of percentage. Both teams have a shooting percentage of 81% so far in this competition. So it'll be very interesting to see who will come out on top. Just a little deflection there to Sirima, who puts in an easy shot for her team. Here's Singapore, very patient, very slow, and it's Kiao Cat again going out to challenge for those cross balls. She will go out and she will do that. It's just a matter of time now before she gets a tip. If she keeps going at it. The Thais also forced to be very patient. A bit of a fumble there by Pat Laganathan. It was a very good vision by Darapon to Pat Laganathan. She was just caught a bit off guard. Kaiwei just throwing the ball into Sirima's hands. Singapore just with a 2-goal lead here in this game so far. Easy feed to Pat Laganathan and an easy finish for her from under the post. We'll need to finish this one. Thailand. Both teams look much more settled. Both teams are playing a much slower game. Really, again, have to think about where they want to place the ball and who they want to place the ball to, considering the defensive structures that they are facing. Another throw in for Thailand. This time another throw in, but it goes in the way of Singapore. There's the long bomb into the pocket, and you just see Kiao Ket again inching her way. She saw that the pass was coming. She read the play really well, and all she did was just got her body out of the circle, really applied some pressure there and forced an error. But here's Singapore again, the possession. Charmaine with a long shot or so. We thought she hesitated initially, thought she was going to shoot it, but dishes it off to Pei Shan instead. Here she is, hesitated, initially wanted to put it up, passes it off to Pei Shan instead. Lots of contests from both teams. Really, all players are defending very hard. That's a good run by Sirima, just running into the front space, getting the easy forward pass from her midfielder and finishing off the shot easily. Sirima with nowhere else to go decides to throw a long one to Pat Laganathan with a half step, but she just grounded her landing foot there, re-grounded her landing foot. Footwork call against her, and Singapore with possession. Kaiwei with a beautiful little shimmy to get herself free. Beautiful footwork from Charmaine. Again, she chooses not to go to post. Her first instinct is to not put it up, but tries to find a way to pass it off to Pei Shan. Really very uncharacteristic from Charmaine So today. Good run by Kaiwei. Her defender Pawina just getting caught on the contact. Unforced errors by the Thais. That is something that they really need to tidy up if they want to stay in this game. All these little unforced errors will cost them. Here's a replay of the shot from Charmaine. So Charmaine with the penalty shot, long range. That will do her confidence some good. Charmaine, she's so capable of putting in those mid to long range shots. We haven't seen many of those from her so far in this game. And when she does take them, she has been missing a couple of shots. So for her to put that one up will really boost her confidence. Really getting stuck here, the Thais. They are very fortunate that they have this lady in Pat Laganathan, that goal shooter, where if they just run out of options, they can just dish that long, high one to their shooter. Singapore as well over here, just getting stuck, no options, just running through. Every time a player looks at the ball, there are just players just standing still. Charmaine tries to dish it off to Pei Shan, but Kiao Ket is just in front of her. Pei Shan caught on a contact. Here's Darapon. She's also struggling, chooses to go to transverse line to Boon Wee Lai. Sarima is out. That pass is just too flat and too fast for Pat Laganathan. She is tall, but she isn't that tall. You really need to first clear the defender's hands. That's a much better run from Charmaine. They really need to do more of those runs. Can you just look at them now? All three of them, Vanessa, Kaiwei, and Charmaine, all three of them just standing stagnant, waiting for one another to make a run. One of them really needs to do that powerful straight drive through just to create space for one another, just to draw the defenders out of position. That's a poor pass. Everybody just running away. Beautiful 1-2 by Vanessa Lee. Pei Shan mid-range, she won't shoot from there. Charmaine from long range, won't shoot from there. Eventually, Pei Shan gets the ball from under the post. Ball bounces off the ring initially, but she gathers the rebound. These are worrying signs for Singapore, considering that both shooters are not willing to put up the mid to long range shots. They're really working hard for the close range one. It is very uncharacteristic of them. Boon Wee Lai there just doing everything she can to save the ball. Both Melody and Sarima both going up to challenge for the ball. Melody just contacting Sarima in that situation. Now it's a contact call against Vanessa Lee. Sarima with a long range shot. A bit too flat. Ball just rolls past the rim. Sarima there just taking a hard knock to the ground. 1 minute remaining to this quarter. Brooke Napa, they're just denying the pass to Kaiwei. Pat Laganathan just choosing to run out of the circle. That's something that she's not very familiar with, running out the circle and then running back in to receive the pass. Don't often see Pat Laganathan doing that. footwork there. Just was off balance and hopped on her landing foot while in possession of the ball. We're counting down 10 seconds to clock. Would Singapore throw a long one in? Will Charmaine so finish this shot to end the second quarter? She does. It's a good shot by Charmaine. It's been an interesting second quarter so far for both teams. Both teams really slowing down the pace of the game. Both teams really feeling the pressure from the defensive efforts from their opponents. But really Singapore is the team that is handling the defensive pressures a lot better. Score is 25-17, Singapore in the lead by 8 goals. Welcome back to the second half of this match between Singapore and Thailand. This is day 4 of the netball competition here at the 30th Southeast Asian Games from the Philippines. Couple of changes for Singapore. As you can see, the center is now Kwok Shu Yi. Vanessa Lee has moved back to the wing defense position, and Carmen Go is back on at the wing attack position, and To Kai Wei is to the bench. No changes for the Thai team. This is a much faster pace of play for both teams. Jamie Lim just running out there in attempt to stop the cross ball. Just caught Surima on the contact. Surima with a good start. Both teams were drawn at 11 goals each at the end of the first quarter. And at the end of the second, the score was 25-17. Singapore scoring 14 goals, while Thailand scored 6. Very dominant display of netball by Team Singapore in the second quarter. Singapore definitely being the more experienced team. What a long range shot from Pat Laganathan there. Beautiful finish by her. It's not often you see her take the long range shots, but when she does, she scores. Not enough height there from Carmen to Peishan. And here comes Thailand. Thailand trail by 8 goals in this game so far. Not a difficult deficit to come back from. But with these unforced errors, it is really going to be difficult for Thailand. There's a much better passage of play for Singapore, eventually finding Pei Shan under the goal post. Pat Laganathan, this time the shot is a little bit undercooked. Contact call there against Surima. Singapore with the counter attack. Penalty shot there for Singapore. Bunwila the goal defense just asked to stand out of play. Good patience there from Carmen, just held the ball on for a little bit and allowed for Pei Shan to reposition herself in a good position for Carmen to just place the ball for her to receive the ball under the goalpost and put up the shot. Pat Laganathan out of the goal circle. That's a poor pass from Darapon. Umpire just holding time there to allow for the retrieval of the ball. Close the range shot for Surima. This is much better play from Singapore. They are looking a lot more settled. Their center passes are just getting into the goal circle a lot more easily this third quarter. Here's Charmaine with the penalty shot. She had a couple of misses in the second quarter. Really shook her confidence there, but she's back. Here's Pat Laganathan just cheering her teammate on. Here, Thailand really struggling to get past the defense. Eventually breaks through. Much better passage of play and pass from Rung Napa to Pat Laganathan. This is much better strategy from Thailand. Pat Laganathan not quite getting the long, high lobs anymore. This time she is moving around a little bit more, being a bit more mobile to get the straight passes. So really, it's a different approach to her style of play. So let's see how the Singaporean defense will adapt to that. Thailand still 8 goals behind Singapore. And Singapore really have solidified their attack. But a couple of unforced errors still from their end that they will look to polish. Pei Shan a mid-range shot. She will take it. Ball just bounces on the front rim, but eventually it falls through the net. Jamie Lim just tries to save the ball from going out of play. Just lands out of court before she pushes the ball back in. Off balance shot from Pat Laganathan, but she's focused and she will finish that shot. Mid-range shot from Pei Shan, she won't shoot it, dishes it off to Shu-Yi. Eventually finds Charmaine, much better shooting from Charmaine this quarter. The Thais are 9 goals behind. They're doing much better this quarter, Thailand. It is not her forte, Pat Laganathan, to be shooting those mid to long range shots. So while it is effective for the Thai team so far in terms of bringing the ball into the goal circle, the shooting accuracy has really been impacted by this. Here is where Singapore struggles again. As you can see, the 3 attacking players. I'll get back to that, but Kiao Cat just reads the play very well to tip the ball to send her team on the counter attack. She's been doing that, Kiao Cat, and that's exactly the same thing that Jamie Lim is doing. The midfielders for both teams really need to keep a lookout for the goalkeepers. Both goalkeepers on both ends in Kiao Cat and Jamie. They are going out to hunt for those balls on the circle edge. So really gotta keep an eye out for those two. Easy placement from Charmaine to Pei Shan. An easy finish for her. She makes it goal number 35. Singapore really widening the gap now. It is 11 goals of difference. Confusion between Sarima and Pat Laganathan. That's Peishan shot there, just a miss. Scrambling for the loose ball. It's good defense there from Bun Wee Lai. Here's the confusion between Palaganada and Sirima. Sirima just wanted to run to the back space. Palaganada was not aware that she was running there. Goes up to receive the ball as well. Sends her teammate crashing. Footwork call against Darapon. Good shot from Charmaine So. She's really stepped up, the captain. Here comes Thailand. Look at this defensive structure from Singapore. They're really piling on the pressure. So many people in the goal. They're really confusing the space very well, the Singaporean defenders. Sirima with a mid-range shot. She looks a little bit deflated in this game so far, Sirima. Usually she is such a playmaker for the Thais. Much better passage play from Singapore. They will be very happy with this performance so far. And the Thais will not be happy with that. That is just a poor pass. They look a little bit deflated, the Thais. That is beautiful footwork by Kiao Ket. Just used her legs to get around Peishan, managed to get a tip on that ball. And here she is with the throw in. Look at how congested this goal third is. The Thais have gone back to choosing to throw the lobs in to the shooters. Sirima with a mid-range shot. Melody Teo just jumping on that shot. There is the beautiful jump by Melody Teo. Good elevation. But Sirima, she's focused and she shoots very well from that range. Good shot from Peishan. Both Peishan and Charmaine are really have their radars turned on now. That's good. Well done, Vanessa Lee. Got her hand to the tip. Manages to save the ball from going out of play. Beautiful play by Vanessa. Singapore really riding on the momentum that they have built so far in this game. They had a poor start to this quarter, falling behind earlier on in the game. But since then, really make a strong comeback. Charmaine So in her favorite spot, putting up the shot. Here is the replay. This is just the screen again from Peishan to enable Charmaine to get into that position. The clock is counting down Final 35 seconds. Plenty of time for both teams. Charmaine So, mid-range. She's gotten a confidence back. You can see the captain just applauding herself. Here's a replay of Charmaine's shot. That's why we're so used to seeing from Charmaine, just receiving the ball, turning to the post and putting up the shot. No hesitation, no thought about it. Here's Sarima. We're counting down to 5 final seconds. Good finish from her. It won't be enough time for a center pass. That is the end of the third quarter. Score is 42-28. Singapore really running out this game. Really putting their foot down, displaying their dominance. What a game from Singapore. There's the end of the third quarter. We'll be back shortly with the final 15 minutes. Welcome back. This is the final quarter of this match between Singapore and Thailand. This is the netball competition with day 4 here at the 30th Southeast Asian Games 2019. This is the last 15 minutes, or 14 minutes rather, remaining to this match. Couple of changes for both teams. I can see Sarima over here just receiving the ball. She is moved back to the goal shooter position. Pat Lakanathan is to the bench. On at the goal tag position is Wan Pasa, and coming on at center is Darapon moves to center, and coming on at wing attack is Viyara. As for the Singapore team, you can see Kai Wei over here in the wing attack position. Akila Andin is on at the goal defense position. Beautiful long pass from Charmaine to Peishan. Peishan was just all alone outside the circle as the defender, Kiao Ket, the goalkeeper. She has a tendency to want to come out to hunt the passes to the midfielders, and resulting leaving her shooters under the goalpost that you saw in the replay that was just on your screen. Peishan just really finds herself really free in the circle. Kiao Ket just really got to stick closer to her. That's a much better defense effort from Kiao Ket. Just not quite enough. Poor pass there by Darpa. Not quite sure if she intended to bounce the ball or if it was meant to be a chest pass. Just didn't connect the pass well to Sarima. Charmaine makes it goal number 48 for Singapore. Singapore really having a good final quarter, really stretching out the goal difference. There's now 18 goals that separates the two teams. Thailand just really struggling to get the ball into their shooting circle. Singapore really piling on the pressure, doing great defensive work to create all the unforced errors. Charmaine, she just faked the shot to get her defender to jump. Some changes for Singapore. Carmen Go is on at the center position, and you'll just get to see it after this replay. Carmen onto the center position. Shui move to the wing defense. Vanessa goes to the bench. And just a swap in terms of the shooters for the Thais, Rima at the goal attack, and Wampasa at goal shooter. Here's Wampasa. Beautiful shot from her. She's obviously a much shorter substitute for Pat Laganathan, but she's really good in her mobility. Just saw the fake shot over there just to get her defender to jump on it, get her vision cleared before she puts up the shot. Confusion then the goal circle. Carmen Go just dishes the ball off. I'm not quite sure who she wanted to pass the ball off to either. Both Charmaine and Peishan were in pretty good position to receive that ball. So it's just a miscommunication in terms of between the three of them, between Peishan, Carmen, and Charmaine, in terms of who was to go for the ball or if they were ready to receive the ball. Just some things that Singapore really need to polish if they want to bring home the gold medal this year. Singapore will play against Malaysia tomorrow. It will be a rematch of the 2017 finals. Both Singapore and Malaysia have always been in the finals in all 4 editions of netball in the SEA Games in 2001, 2015, 2017. 3 editions so far. This is the 4th one. But it looks like both Singapore and Malaysia are on a good track to the finals. But first they have to clear the semi-finals, which is happening on the 1st of December. The top 4 teams after this round robin stages will qualify to the semis, and the winners of the finals, the semi-finals, will qualify to the finals. That's happening on the 2nd of December. Here's Carmen Go, just on the screen. This is her first SEA Games. Charmaine with a sneaky little offload there to Peishan, just as she stood in spot for the penalty pass to be taken. Wasn't even looking at Peishan, just dishes it off to her. A little lapse of concentration there. It happens to even the best of shooters, that they miss the under the post shots, but what matters is that she gathered her own rebound and eventually puts it in. Here's Rima with a mid-range shot. Long pass from Charmaine to Kaiwei. Pawina, the captain, just got her hand to it, just enough to challenge. Thai's really trying to get the ball up front. They go 2 pass forward and 1 pass either back or parallel. And Kaiwei just read that play beautifully, got the intercept. Charmaine just holding the ball on for dear life. till the umpire made her decision that it was the possession of Singapore. Charmaine just missed the catch there. A little bit too much on the pass from Kai Wei. Sarima with mid-range shot. Again, she misses. The shots are getting really flat. They are just not enough height on it for it to fall into the net. Again, from close range. She really looks like a different player today, Sarima. She has played all of the Thai games so far in this competition. Perhaps a bit of fatigue is creeping into her, getting it to her. Just look at that replay. Singapore just really bringing the ball down from a center third all the way to their goal circle, just in that one shot of replay. Really quick play, Singapore. The placement of that pass to Pei Shan was not quite comfortable enough for Pei Shan to receive. She tried to tip the ball her way. Akila Anding just doing a somersault tumble there on the floor, trying to get possession of the play. She's called for offside. But Akila is a very hard worker. She will go for as many of the passes that she can get her hands onto. There's a much better placement to Pei Shan. Would be an easy finish for her. Sarima mid-range. Well, this time she puts it in. Much better composure from her prior to putting the shot in. She just took a split second a little longer to gather herself before putting the shot up. Resulted in a beautiful finish. Charmaine So, on the other hand, on this end of the shooting circle, she's been good so far through this match. Really consistent from the third quarter. Had a pretty poor second quarter. I'm sure she will know that. Missed a couple. But she has since gathered herself, Charmaine. Let's look at this replay. Good fake by Darapon. Just held the ball for a split second longer. And Wampatsa presented herself. Defensive effort this time from Charmaine So. Got the tip. Charmaine So really doesn't think too much when it comes to passing to Pei Shan. Both of these players have a really good connection, Charmaine and Pei Shan. Here is Charmaine. Just gets the ball. Just have a split second of a look just to confirm where Pei Shan is before releasing it. We're counting down to the final seconds of this game, but here's a penalty shot for Sarima. It's a long-range one, and she finishes it off well. She wasn't shooting too well so far in this quarter, but that final shot just is a good finish for her. Was a good start by the Thai team. Eventually, Singapore won the game. The score is 60-35. Singapore so far with undefeated so far in this competition. Coming up at 5 p.m., Brunei will play against Malaysia. The game is happening at 5 p.m. Thank you very much for joining us here on the live stream of this match, the netball competition of the 30th Southeast Asian Games. We're live from Philippines. Thank you.